Paul Roberts, The Impulse Society, What's Wrong with Getting What We Want? Immerse yourself in Paul Roberts' insightful book, The Impulse Society, What's Wrong with Getting What We Want, which delves deep into the concept of the Impulse Society. Discover how we have a world tailored to our desires, one where consumption is the driving force of our economics, while long-term societal needs fall by the wayside. Tracing back the history of this societal shift and exploring the consequences of our consumption-driven mindset, Roberts presents a compelling examination of where we stand in the economy, politics, healthcare, and other institutions as a result.
The significance of hipsters. Hipsters may seem like just a fashion trend, but they actually represent the impulse society that we live in today. We are constantly seeking to customize our lives through consumption and personalization. However, this focus on immediate gratification has caused us to neglect important long-term issues such as sustainability. While the American economy has been successful in creating wealth and innovation, it often fails to address crucial social necessities like education and infrastructure. The rise of hipster culture serves as a reflection of this larger societal trend towards self-absorption. The book argues that we need to shift our focus towards addressing these societal needs for a more sustainable future. The rise of consumerism. The history of how the moving assembly line and psychology revolutionized American society by making consumerism its top priority is detailed in this section of the book's summary. After Henry Ford's Model T was introduced, the production of cars became more efficient, significantly reducing their cost, and making them affordable for almost everyone. Subsequently, other consumer goods also became more affordable, and personal needs became the priority, overshadowing societal needs. General Motors President Alfred Sloan introduced cheap financing through an in-house bank to make customers comfortable about spending. A range of different engines, colors, and prices was also introduced, so customers could choose cars that matched their lifestyle and socioeconomic status. The post-war industrial boom further increased affluence, and people became consumers rather than producers. However, social and environmental consequences went unnoticed, such as air pollution, over-reliance on oil imports, and a safety crisis on America's highways. The Impulse Society's relationship with finance. The Impulse Society of the 1960s America thrives on the influence of the global financial sector, which is known for its short-sighted profit-oriented methods and strategies. These ways include stock buybacks, which artificially restrict the supply of shares, increasing demand. President Ronald Reagan legalized this method. The financial sector is risk-free, and investment professionals face no accountability for risky investments. This lack of accountability has spread to other areas as well. Math and science graduates who could contribute to fields like science and medicine are instead joining Wall Street for higher wages. As society becomes more focused on finance, cities prioritize investing in banks instead of education. The focus on immediate returns threatens long-term outcomes. The faults of impulse politics. The book discusses the flaws in modern-day politics, which has become increasingly self-serving, short-sighted, and polarized. Political campaigns focus on gathering votes and funding, often resorting to brand-like tactics that emphasize differences rather than common ground. Political compromise has become nearly impossible, and micro-targeting through big data has led to further polarization. The result is an impulse politics that prioritizes short-term goals at the expense of more important societal problems such as unemployment, healthcare, and climate change. The book argues that as a society, we need to take a hard look at our political system and its values, and consider how to shift towards a more cooperative, compassionate, and long-term approach to governance. Two-class society. Economist Tyler Cowen predicts a future society divided into two classes, the wealthy and the unfortunate. While the financial sector booms, companies aim to cut costs, resulting in the loss of jobs. Corporate raiders have become a dominant force in restructuring struggling businesses by laying off employees and selling the company for a profit. Additionally, Technological advancements have rendered certain service jobs obsolete, including travel agents, telephone operators, editors, and soon, lawyers. The emergence of quantitative legal prediction, QLP, poses a threat to the legal profession, with computerized predictions being 75% accurate compared to human predictions at 59%. Overall, the future of society looks bleak, with a growing divide between the fortunate and the less privileged. The cost of individualism. Our society has become increasingly focused on individualism, which is causing a serious social issue. While it may seem harmless, putting the self at the center of everything weakens the bonds between us and erodes our sense of community. We've become more concerned with how culture serves our own egos rather than valuing it for its own worth. This has resulted in a detachment from those who don't share our beliefs and the commodification of our local communities. Even though we're more connected online, we're feeling more insecure about our relationships than ever before. Such tendencies are labeled as symptoms of clinical narcissism, a condition that's growing as fast as other health problems like obesity. It's time we take back our sense of community and value culture for its intrinsic qualities, rather than for how it can serve our individual needs. Healthcare selfishness. The U.S. healthcare system is driven by self-interest and exemplifies the impulse society. The focus is on costly medical treatments with no practical benefits, while critical metrics lag behind other nations. Despite this, citizens resist improving access to insurance. Such short-sighted thinking is a threat to the healthcare system's survival, as investments in questionable treatments could lead to its collapse by 2020. Overhauling society. A narrow self-interest has spread to all vital institutions, and society needs an overhaul. A first step toward change would be to curb the financial sector's influence by refocusing the economy on long-term goals, such as ecological sustainability, income equality, and human happiness. An economist suggested introducing a carbon tax and to make stock buybacks illegal. Splitting up banks that were once too big to fail is another option. Broader political shifts focusing on social issues such as unemployment are also necessary. Recognizing common interests would bring people together as a community and motivate them to act altruistically. Although the changes may be sweeping, they are far from impossible. Living in individual bubbles is not freedom, instead, a community that serves everyone is the ultimate goal.
The journey through the impulse society paints a clear picture of the self-centered, consumption-driven world we live in today. While economic, political, and healthcare systems give in to the impulse society, Roberts encourages open-mindedness, arguing that change is possible. By pushing for initiatives in areas such as ecological sustainability, reducing corporate stock buybacks, and taking actions to narrow the divide between political parties, we can work towards a future that focuses on common interests and building stronger communities, instead of living in a world tailored exclusively for ourselves.